It is late November and college basketball in full swing. What a matchup we've got tonight from the Hanna Center. Look at the combined records of Belmont and Samford, 12-1. So let's welcome you inside the Hanna Center on the campus of Samford University for this outstanding matchup. Kurt Bloom along with my broadcast partner, Boyd Kaiser, and across the court is Blake Gardner. Now, buddy, we get paid to hype the games, but to me, this hype is right there. You don't have to look very far when 7-1 takes on 5-0. With Belmont, the perennial mid-major power, they're undefeated and a legendary coach. Scott Padgett and Samford, a surprising 7-1. They're an upstart team, perhaps overachieving.
Yeah, you want proof of Belmont being a powerhouse in the mid-major level. Look at the last 13 years. They've made the postseason 12 of those years, including 7 NCAA tournament appearances. So they're starting a lot of freshmen this year, but it's got a great start right now with 5-0. And on the Samford side, you know, they've been working their defense hard in the offseason. And now this is going to be a challenge for them to match up with Belmont.
For Samford to contend, they've got to quiet down Dylan Windler, the star player for the Belmont Bruins.
Yeah, Windler is a preseason player of the year in the Ohio Valley Conference. Their leading scorer, second leading rebounder. He was a double-double machine last year. He scores inside, shoots the three. He does a little bit of everything for Belmont. On the Samford side, we're looking at Kevion Nolan, who came off the bench in the last games, a spark plug for the Bulldogs off the bench. He's had a career-high 21 in the last game, including 5 for 8 from the three-point line. He's shooting over 50% from the three-point line this season so far.
Starting five for both clubs will look like this for the Belmont Bruins. Undefeated at 5-0, Kevin McLean, Grayson Murphy, Dylan Windler, the player that we talked about and highlighted, Caleb Hollander, and Nick Usinski. On the flip side, for the Samford Bulldogs, coming in at a surprising 7-1, Josh Sharkey having a great start, Brandon Austin, Myron Gordon, Robert Allen, and the big man in the middle, they call him El Gigante, Ruben Guerrero. All right, it's a good coaching matchup as well, Scott Padgett. And on the other side, it's Rick Bird. For more on the coaching matchup, here's Blake Gardner.
Thanks, CB. You definitely had it right. An intriguing coaching matchup tonight. Two coaches, two very different backgrounds. Let's start with the visitors. Belmont head coach Rick Bird has been with this Belmont program since they were an NAIA program all the way back in 1986. Since then, Belmont has moved up, of course, to the D1 ranks, and all he has done on the sideline is amass nearly 800 wins, take his team to 7 NCAA tournaments, and win 20-plus games each season but one over the last 13 years. On the other side, Samford head coach Scott Padgett was a former NBA first-round pick in his playing days, and after an 8-year NBA career, he has returned to the college game, first as an assistant and now as the head man in his 5th season at the helm of this Samford program that's off to one of its best starts in program history, guys. It should be a fun matchup on the sidelines and the court tonight.
Good report. Now, Blake Gardner, Rick Bird has over 700, nearly 800 wins, but he had one loss in his career that I don't know if he's gotten over. He recruited my broadcast partner, Boyd Kaiser, and didn't get him. What happened?
Well, it was back when they were NAIA, so they were making the transition to D1 right then when I was being recruited and got to know Coach Bird. Samford was already there. They were eligible for the NCAA tournament, so that helped sway me because they've definitely lived up to the hype since they've been D1 and been eligible for the tournament. They have made it a lot of times.
Yeah, they really missed your prowess on the court.
I could have tried to take a couple charges for them.
12 out of 13 years, 20-plus wins, and 12 of those 13 years they've been in the postseason, as you mentioned, 7 of them to the NCAAs. I got text from people earlier today that were talking about, isn't that the team that played Duke a few years ago? And they also had a showdown in the playoffs once against UCLA. It was billed as the Bruins versus the Bruins.
Yeah, there are a lot of stats for Belmont that you look at for their win total over the last 13 years that put them in categories with teams like Duke and Gonzaga and North Carolina State with how many seasons they've had those 19-20 win seasons.
Arguably, the best player to come to the Hanna Center and Samford University in the last few years is the guy who's going to actually jump at center, Dylan Windler, 6'8", 200, against Guerrero. It's Samford on offense first. Pick me out the defense, Boyd.
Looks like they're starting man-to-man. Belmont will switch it up. They'll play some zone 2. And that's something Guerrero needs to do tonight. You know, he's matched up against a freshman who's had a hot start to these first 5 games, but he is a freshman, so as a senior, he needs to work him down low.
He might have gotten away with a travel. 2-0 Samford. Here's a turnover. Now in the hands of Sharkey. Takes it to the rim, gets fouled, and 1.
Great finish there. You know, Sharkey's going to push it anytime he can get out and run. It could be an up-and-down game because Belmont will do the same off a missed shot.
Josh Sharkey averaging just a tick under 14 points per game. Outstanding free throw shooter, misses here. Rebound by Windler. Samford 4, Belmont nothing. 19:24 remaining in the opening half. Windler.
Samford starting off in man-to-man too. They got to get out to the three-point line because Belmont can really shoot. They got 6 or 7 guys that shoot a great percentage from outside.
Myron Gordon on the rebound for the Bulldogs. Samford over Belmont by 4. Guerrero in the key. Stolen by Belmont. Grayson Murphy out for a 3. Got it. Home run ball. Kevin McLean makes it a 1-point game.
Again, that's what Belmont will do. They'll take a lot of threes during this game. They're one of the best shooting teams in the country, though. They'll take about 25 a game and make a bunch of them.
Hand off to Gordon. Mid-range jumper is good by Myron Gordon on the turnaround.
Good spin move back to the middle. Little fade to get it up and in.
Samford 6, Belmont 3. Belmont undefeated at 5-0. Their last game was against Kennesaw State. No problem there, 95-53. Here comes Sharkey with the speed. Samford keeps it alive. 3 ball if it goes. Here comes Belmont running. Windler, an outstanding athlete, tries to go up with his left and is fouled.
People better catch their breath when they can because this game's going to be up and down, up and down.
So Windler will have 2 shots. As Boyd mentioned, the preseason player of the year in the OVC and also as a preseason All-American, as voted upon by some services, and also a lefty. 6-5 Samford by 1 over Belmont. Belmont out of Nashville. $17:45 remaining, opening half. Guerrero went over the back of Nick Muzinski.
Yeah, Muzinski had a good box out there. I mean, it was good effort by Guerrero, but he can't pick up another one now. They're going to need him in there.
One of those hustle fouls, Boyd Kaiser, right? You don't want to get the foul, but then again, if you're not being aggressive.
For sure, but this early in the game, now you got to be a little more careful with those hustle fouls. And like Belmont does, they're going to attack that rim and shoot threes.
Grayson Murphy unable to finish. Back
Great.
the other way.
Great run by Allen. Good hustle down the court and got rewarded with the assist from Sharkey.
Robert Allen, a freshman, enjoying a nice first year in college. Good move by Muzinski.
Yeah, it's a true freshman. You know, he got inserted in the lineup a little earlier than he was expecting due to an injury, but he's really lived up to it. He's the second leading rebounder for the Bulldogs. Can hit it around the bucket. And speaking of freshmen, you know, Belmont starts 3 redshirt freshmen.
Samford will maintain possession, up by 1. 16:53 remaining. There's a replay.
Yeah, turn inside, left hand, over the big man.
Alabama transfer, Myron Gordon. Allen for 3, that's short. So here comes Belmont with a chance.
That's one he'll want back.
Yeah. Almost as soon as he thought about the shot, I think he was thinking, that's not a good shot. 16:38 remaining in the opening half. Belmont will shoot for their first lead. They get it down low. Muzinski with the reverse layup.
Good job of sealing and using the rim where a shot blocker can't even get to it with that angle.
Muzinski from Pickerington, Ohio.
Really, really solid for a redshirt freshman. Leading rebounder for Belmont. Second leading scorer.
Sharkey wanted Guerrero inside, quick hands. Belmont the steal and the turnover. Murphy their point guard. And now the lefty again. That's Windler with a miss.
I think that's the shot Samford's going to want him to take. You know, it's a mid-range shot, a little bit of a fadeaway. If they can force him to those, they're doing pretty good.
There's a long baseline three, and the tip by Guerrero is good.
Great tip. Austin is Samford's leading three-point shooter right now on the season. It was a nice soft shot, so an easy rebound tip in.
Muzinski got blocked from behind by Guerrero. Samford by one, 15-21 remaining. Kick out by Sharkey. Gordon's three, in and out. Guerrero. And one.
Strong move. Get the contact and make it.
Our first official timeout. We are off and running from the Hanna Center. Samford 12, Belmont 9 when we come back. Scott Paget and the Bulldogs up by 3. Samford over Belmont, and Samford will be at the free throw line. There's the and one for Ruben Guerrero. Pretty excited about that. Blake Gardner, Samford using the pick and roll to their advantage.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that tonight, guys. Samford, according to Synergy Sports, it gets 20 to 25% of their total offense just from pick and roll, whether it's Josh Sharkey finishing at the rim or Ruben Guerrero completing a three-point play right there. And Belmont this year has only defended the pick and roll in the 37th percentile in the country, so they're a below-average defensive team when it comes to defending pick and rolls. So watch out for Samford to cycle and cycle Sharkey off plenty of ball screens tonight on that end of the floor, guys.
Excellent report. 15-minute mark here in the first half. Samford a +4 over Belmont. Traveling negates the basket. By the way, early Boyd, Samford 6 for 12 from the field against a very talented Belmont team.
You know, they're attacking the rim pretty well right now. They've shot a few threes, but they've been pushing it into Guerrero. He's out now, so they got to see what else they can do after the pick and roll.
Logan Dye is in. Nice bounce pass. Oh, it's off the rim.
Great backdoor cut. Better defense at the rim.
And a foul on Samford. Kevin McLean shifted a gear. Very athletic senior out of Jennings, Florida.
And you just see the speed that they want to play with. You know, on any miss like that where the ball comes off the rim, they're out and running.
Robert Allen guilty of the foul. McLean guilty of the miss. One thing that I did notice, Belmont, their starting 5 average to fair in terms of their free throws. They don't have anybody over 75% of their 5 starters. Keep that in the back of your mind later on. McLean 0 for 2. But Belmont will maintain possession on the gaff.
Yeah, I think 2 Samford players fought over the ball that time.
Stefan Lokic is in for Samford along with Logan Dye. Murphy.
I think Coach Paget's getting the big men a little rest earlier in this game just due to the pace. He knows they're going to have to work it all game.
And you notice Muzinski is out as well. So both teams are going with their backup centers. 3-ball won't go for Belmont, but McLean snatches the rebound. Nice
Great
pass. McLean leads to a dunk.
Great pass. Souza help side rotated over. He hit him right where he needed to, right in the hands. So just jump up and dunk it.
Adelsperger, backup center. 2-point lead for Samford. Lokic wants 3. One shot. Here comes Grayson Murphy and Belmont. 2 for a tie, 3 for the lead. This is for the lead. Way off to the right side, but rebounded by the Belmont Bruins.
Yeah, Samford's getting beat on the board since the big man subbed in. They're going to have to get good box outs and work after that ball.
2 for the tie. 3 to take the lead. That's another offensive board for Belmont. Back to McLean, and foul is called on Brandon Austin.
Yeah, usually if you get 3 shots at the rim in the same possession, something's going to happen eventually. Samford's going to have to box out.
Brandon Austin has picked up his second. 13-19 remaining in the first half. Kevin McLean with his 4th point of the game. He is only a 57% free throw shooter, which doesn't make sense. He's outstanding from outside.
44% from the three-point line.
No one's guarding him, but he hits 2 this time around. Yeah, the game is tied.
Sometimes there's something about being the lonely free throw lane which makes that shot different.
Tied at 13 with 13:08 remaining. First half. Dye had a shot underneath, couldn't finish. And here comes Belmont again.
Yeah, it's a good dish by Sharkey. I think there's a little bit of bobble on the catch, so he couldn't get it up fast.
Windler might have taken steps, but instead he's going to go to the line.
Strong through the contact. Yeah, that's a senior there going up against a freshman on defense. If you're going to get the foul, you don't want him to make the shot too.
Logan Dye picks up a foul, and Dylan Windler will head to the free throw line.
Belmont was on a little run since Guerrero went out of the game, so Coach Pageant's getting him back in there, see if they can stop it.
Windler at 74% from the line. That one is perfect. And a 3-point lead for Belmont. 12:50 remaining here in the first half. Sharkey will try to finish. Comes up short. Belmont stuffed at the rim. A lot of traffic. Nolan, who we highlighted, the layup for Kavion Nolan. Career high 21 in his last game. Windler, long 3. Samford with a chance to shoot for the lead. Nolan wants the 3. Got it!
Looks like Nolan's coming out feeling it like he did last game. 5 for 8 from the three-point line last game out.
It was about NBA 3.
I think Coach has him with the green light right now.
Strong move, Caleb Hollander. 18-18. We're tied up with 11:45 remaining in the opening half. It's so far playing up to the hype that we talked about.
Definitely is. Ball screen action with Guerrero and Sharkey.
Mid-range. Hollander on the rebound for Belmont. Belmont stronger on the boards here in this first half. 3 ball. Yes. Michael Benkirk. And Belmont will pull out in front by 3. We had 11-19 remaining in the opening half. It's Belmont by 3. Belmont by 3, 21-18. 11-19 remaining in this opening half. Sam Squad. You remember of Sam Squad by any chance? I should ask you.
Not tonight. Not tonight, I'm not.
Have you, have your children seen Space Jam?
They have, because their father made them. That and Hoosiers.
Yeah, well, okay. Hoosiers is a must. Myron Gordon and Samford down by 3. High pick by Guerrero. He does roll. And Gordon unable to capitalize.
You can definitely see what Samford's scouting report is, to get that screen up top and try to attack the rim, either with the layup or with the dish off to the big man inside.
DeAndre Thomas with the foul. Let's see if we see the violation.
It's a good little inside out and just a little bit of a touch.
Two shots coming up for Nick Hopkins, and he hits the first. Hopkins at the line this year, 5 for 5. More of an outside shooter, but his prowess at the free throw line tells me he might want to put it on the floor a little bit more. 5-point lead for Belmont, their largest, with 10:49 remaining here in the opening half. That'll be a whistle on Belmont.
And this is something that Samford's got to deal with, this pace of keeping up with them. And they're going to keep shooting, scoring, pushing the ball. They're top 10 early in the season right now in scoring in the country and in field goal percentage in the country.
Well, that's a pretty lethal mix.
Well, you also can throw in top 10 in assists in the country too, so
Why
they move
not?
the ball.
So you're unselfish, you shoot, and you shoot well. Okay, defend. DeAndre Thomas runs the floor. Might have picked up a foul that will send him to the line.
Yeah, I think he got bumped on that drive. The official thought about it for a second, called it maybe a little bit late, but.
First one on Windler. So 2 shots coming up for freshman DeAndre Thomas. Now, that was his first miss of the year. He was 4 for 4. Belmont by 5 here with 10:35 to go first half. Thomas 1 out of 2, this time down the floor.
Samford's changing the defense up here a little bit, give Belmont a different look, see if it gets them into a different rhythm. Little 2-2-1 press.
Nice pass. That's why.
Shuffle the feet, though.
It won't count. That's why Windler is a big assist man as well. He's not just a shooter.
I mean,
5 assists in his last game.
I think all you can say is just a great basketball player. He can do everything, and he makes his team better. Any player that makes your team better.
Look at a frantic pace here. I steal it, you steal it back. Nick Hopkins did not give up, so he keeps that possession alive for Belmont. And this is Hopkins on the inbounds.
Tried to run Windler off a quick flex cut.
Hopkins from long range.
Couldn't get him on the flex cut, but when he knocked in a 3, nothing to argue with there.
5 in the game for Hopkins. Under 10 minutes remaining in the opening half. Belmont leads by 7. Kavion Nolan runs and hits it off the rim. McLean was calling for it near side. Well, they throw that stretch pass. They're not afraid to get it across the court. Good dish. Swatted.
Great block.
And back for Belmont. And that one goes through, even though there was some contact.
Yeah, Guerrero got a piece of it again, but just strong enough to, Muzinski just strong enough to get the ball up there and in anyway.
Muzinski with 6.
That was a 3-pointer that Samford desperately needed.
Belmont wanted to answer, could not. 6-point lead for Belmont. Under 9 remaining in this opening half. Down low, Guerrero got the left working.
And this is something I expect Samford to keep doing, changing the defensive looks to just try to slow down, maybe confuse some of the freshmen a little bit, slow down the pace of the offense for Belmont. Settling back into a 2-3.
Making Belmont shoot from outside. It's Muzinski against Guerrero. Muzinski puts it on the floor.
Allen got a hand on it.
Samford with the rebound. DeAndre Thomas took it away from Windler. Gordon and the 1 coming up after the foul. better put your athletic sneakers on tonight.
Yeah, that was an explosive move right there. Avoids the charge, jumping to the side. Gets the bump. Going for three.
Foul on Musinski, and now Byron Gordon. Junior college transfer. Originally from Bordentown, New Jersey.
It's a nice little run by Samford when they'd gotten down by their biggest deficit to not let it get any bigger.
8:10 remaining in the opening half. Grayson Murphy back on the court. One of those redshirt freshmen we talked about. Long range three, that's off. Timeout coming our way with 7:57 remaining in this frantic first half. Belmont by 1. It's Belmont by 1, right in the middle of the dog pound is Blake Carter. Blake.
Thanks, CB, over here in the middle of the dog pound. You can see some very excited Space Jam night. And of course, in Space Jam, you know, it's usually Toon Squad on the front of the jerseys. Tonight, it's the Sam Squad who are repping hardcore up behind me, fired up for this big-time home game against the Belmont Bruins. Samford's campus has embraced the Space Jam night, from clips to on-court contests to even the team coming out and wearing these shirts in their pregame warm-ups tonight. So a fun atmosphere in the Pete Hanna Center.
Hey, Blake, a quick question. The guys in the dog pound cut off their sleeves. How come you didn't do the same thing?
You know what? I decided to keep the shirt and tie on for the moment. I'll let you know if we go full cutoff as this game goes along.
No guns. Thanks.
Yeah,
1 point lead for Belmont.
The students definitely showed up for this game, and we'll see. They need to keep the shirts on and go support the volleyball team after this tonight. They got an NCAA tournament game out in LA tonight.
Kevion Nolan, a little short, but he gets the board and misses a bunny from underneath. Belmont by 1. 7:25 remaining.
Samford's dropping back into his zone, but definitely extending out to cover that three-point line with the way Belmont shoots it.
McLean and Windler with a game of catch. Now they involve Murphy, who loses it. Turns it over. Sharkey trying to get position. This is a 3-ball. Rebound, DeAndre Thomas.
Good hustle.
Nolan from Homewood High School almost hit that one across the street. Belmont does make you play defense, don't they?
Absolutely.
They don't waste time if they get the ball in the front court. Eyes on the rim.
And there's great ball movement.
Like that. Windler can't finish. He's having a tough night here in the first half.
Belmont's out rebounding Samford right now. They're getting extra possessions out of it.
McLean runs the floor. That's going to rim in and out. Then Logan Dye says, I'll take it. Tough shooting so far for the star, Dylan Windler. I've got him 1 for 5.
Yeah, Samford's doing a good job on him. They're definitely keeping their eye on him at all times.
Turnaround Dye. That's really not his shot. It comes in and out. Lead for Murphy. Murphy's too hard, but then the follow.
Again, crashing the boards, extra shots, extra shots.
3-point lead for Belmont. And it was Windler on the follow. He was in traffic.
Yeah, every time Guerrero's been out, Samford's had a hard time on the defensive rebounds.
Sharkey, kick out. 3 to shoot, so that goes up, and it goes off the rim. Rebound for the Belmont Bruins out of Nashville. They have been a top 10 mid-major for quite some time under Rick Berg. Nice no-look bounce pass leads to an easy bucket. Adelsperger with now 4 off the bench.
We had a couple minutes in a row of the pace actually slowing down, people using a little bit of clock after coming out of the 8-minute media timeout.
There is a whistle before the foul.
little too much body on Adelsberger.
There's the 5th leading active head coach in terms of wins in D1 right there. Only 4 guys ahead of him.
Have we heard of any of those guys?
Yeah, barely. Krzyzewski, Boeheim, Sharkey's 3 is good. Bob Huggins and Roy Williams. That's it. There's no other active coaches at D1 who have more wins than Rick Byrd.
That's so impressive. And just that he stayed at Belmont that whole time to build and run this program.
Beautiful school that has strong academics. And Rick Byrd has made them, as we mentioned, into one of the most legit mid-majors. You always talk about Gonzaga, but don't forget Belmont, teams like Green Bay, Guerrero, and they'll call steps on Guerrero.
Yeah, he tried to get a little too fancy with it. He's just got to get that baby hook up there. He's been doing good with it today.
Gonzaga is the #1 mid-major, followed by Buffalo and then Belmont. Furman out of the SoCon is 4th. And then there's a academic and athletic powerhouse, the 5th best mid-major, little school called UNC Greensboro that has produced some incredible athletes and academic scholars.
Well, and at this point, I even have a hard time even considering Gonzaga a mid-major anymore. You know, they've been doing it for so long. The #1 team in the country at the moment.
You know, that's a valid point. By the way, I was poking fun of my own alma mater, UNC Greensboro. We'll run the alumni list for Belmont later on. Sharkey thought he got fouled. He'll get a clean 2. Sharkey with 7. What a game. 2-point lead for Belmont. Belmont in possession. Bounce pass to Murphy. A lot of traffic, so he kicks it out. 3 ball is good. Nice looking shot. Kevin McLean, his second 3.
He shoots more threes than anybody else on Belmont's team, so you know you got to guard him.
So with 2 made, he has 14 on the season. Media timeout, 3:06 remaining, and a 5-point lead for Belmont. Boyd Kaiser is doing the color tonight, 3:06 remaining. When you look at the pacing of this game, then go to the score, what does this favor right now, Boyd?
I think if this game ends up in the 80 to 85 range, you know, you're going to look at that as a benefit for Belmont the way they've been scoring this year. Samford's definitely been scoring well also, just not quite the pace that Belmont has. All 5 starters are averaging double digits for Belmont at the moment. So Samford, I think, would like to keep it more in the mid-70s, really extend that defense, keep changing things up. Now Belmont's brought out a different look for defense, giving a little press.
Belmont has averaged coming into tonight just under 95 points per game. So if this game winds up in the 70s, Samford's got a better chance. If it gets in that 80-90 range, then Belmont will be favored to win. Myron Gordon got hacked and still able to finish. No foul.
Good concentration to get that in there.
A lot of contact. 2:38 remaining in the first half. Belmont by 3. They've done it. Belmont has not a whole lot from Windler. He's missed a few shots, and he misses one right off the glass. Didn't come close.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job on Windler so far. Good pass.
Good pass to get inside and lead to an easy bucket by Robert Allen. Sharkey on the assist, and now Allen with a chance to tie this game up.
Yeah, that's a mistake that Coach Bird's not going to like at halftime. You know, if you're going to leave somebody open like that, again, if you're going to help at the end, you got to foul them. They can't hit the shot. You can't let them go that easy for a 3-point play.
And when you use as many players as Belmont, you should look at it as not, I've got 5 fouls, but we might have 10 at this position.
Sure.
Allen for the tie. How about you? 2:15 remaining and tied at 37. Belmont with the ball in their hands. McLean running one-hander. The officials will give the ball to Belmont. 2:01 remaining in the first half.
Samford's back in a man-to-man coming out of this out-of-bounds possession here.
Murphy will trigger, finds a man on the cut. Wow, so diagrammed well. Nick Hopkins.
Yeah, straight off a double screen to the three-point line, square up. You know, Coach Patchen told me before the game that they were going to try to keep changing the defensive looks up on Belmont to try to slow them down some.
Sharkey with the high shot. He got the benefit of the home rim.
Sharkey had a little bit of a slow start, but in the last 5 minutes has come alive with hitting some shots.
Back the other way for the three ball, and Nick Hopkins with his third three of the half.
I think the shot clock had gotten down to a whole 26, 25 on that possession before we got a three.
Shot clock operator, almost the night off. Sharkey's shot comes off. They might have gotten Guerrero, did they? They're pointing at Guerrero, or did Guerrero get fouled? That's the call.
All right, they're calling it on a little bit of an undercut on the rebound there.
Okay.
I think Belmont was trying to box out. Let's see it here.
Yeah, there's the elbow.
Kind of hips him out there. So now we got a 1-and-1.
Benkirk with the foul. As I've said, that replay guy, that slow-mo guy, they never miss. 1:17 remaining in the opening half. Rebound by Grayson Murphy. Murphy's now's got a lane, nice pass. Stripped, going to the rim was Adelsperger with 1:08 remaining.
Great hands by Guerrero to get that out without hitting him. He had jumped up for the block, came down with the strip.
Sharkey can't keep it alive.
That's something Sharkey's done well all year, though, creating fast break opportunities off steals. Almost had one there.
62 seconds remaining. Opening half. Belmont by 4. Back to Murphy. He's a 6'2 redshirt freshman. One of 3 redshirt freshmen in the starting lineup. Big miss. Tip won't go. Steal. And Sharkey keeps this alive. What a job by Sharkey. Wow, good sequence there. And again, Boyd, lots of second and third shots for Belmont.
Yeah, even with that, Samford's hanging in there. Getting down to this last minute. They need to get one more score going into halftime.
Sharkey will get a pick from Guerrero. Three-pointer for Sharkey is off. In the hands of Murphy. And the shot clock will be turned off. And Rick Bird will call the timeout. 18.6 remaining in the opening half, and it's Belmont in possession and by 4. At the half, we'll have Blake Gardner talking with Samford head coach Scott Padgett, who overall has to be pleased. Down by 4 to one of the best clubs, one of the best teams in the NCAAs, and certainly at this level, which is called mid-major, not a top 5, Power 5, but they have quite the lineage at Belmont.
You know, you call that, they're one bid leagues in the NCAA tournament, so that's another impressive thing about Belmont. To make the NCAA tournament 7 times, a lot of the time they won their regular season, but then they also had to come back and win the tournament to get in. And that's not an easy task to win those tournaments.
And those 7 visits have all come since 2006. 10 seconds remaining in the half. Sharkey and Murphy near the Bulldog logo. 3 to shoot. It goes up. It is short, and that will end the first half. An exciting first half. The two teams put on a wonderful show. Belmont 43, Samford 39, a 4-point lead for the visiting Bruins. Scott Padgett and Blake Gardner are ready for the halftime interview. Blake?
Thanks, guys. Here with Samford head coach Scott Padgett. Coach, this game's on pace for about 80 possessions, 40 aside of the current tempo it's being played at. Are you good with the tempo?
No, we're not doing our job in transition right now. That's where they're hurting us. I think our half-court defense has been pretty good. Our transition defense has been terrible. We got to understand and make it a priority that when the shot goes up and I'm a 1 or a 2, I got to get back. If I'm a 1 or a 2 and I'm shooting, the 3's got to get back. And we're not talking in match, and we've been back twice, but we had 2 guys guarding 1 man, and I don't think anybody out here is good enough to kill you when they don't have the ball. So we got to do a much better job in transition. And then I thought we settled with too many jump shots, especially late in the half.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck in the second. Guys.
Thank you, Blake. A 4-point lead for Belmont, 43-39. And Boyd and I will be back right after this timeout. Belmont by 4 at the break. Here's how they got there statistically. You'll see again that Samford has actually made 1 more field goal, but Belmont shooting from long distance, shooting well. They got 6 3-pointers. Rebounds a big margin right there for Belmont, 26-19. The assists, both teams not afraid to move the ball around and play some unselfish ball. We'll be back with the second half from the Hanna Center right after this. $20 more minutes to decide this one, at least scheduled for 20, maybe longer. Belmont unblemished at 5-0. Samford at 7-1. This is the best season start for Samford since 96-97 when Scott Padgett was a sophomore at the University of Kentucky. Josh Sharkey for the Bulldogs, but it's the Bruins on offense first. Belmont once played UCLA in the NCAAs. It was the Bruins against the Bruins. Belmont by 4. Second half underway. Caleb Hollander muscled in. Another one of those redshirt freshmen. So technically, Boyd, he was on campus last year. You practice, get in your weight room stuff, right?
Yeah, having a year redshirting really can help guys, develop, understand the program, understand the way you play, the way you guard. A lot of people come out of high school as stars that have scored a lot of points and never really had to guard anybody. So there's a lot you can learn that first year.
19 minutes remaining, a bucket here in the second half. Back to Hollander.
Samford's got to make it harder on the net. There's no rotation over on the backside to help out on that drive as he drove by Allen.
I'm wondering for a moment, Boyd, Scott Padgett's message, he didn't like their perimeter defense. He said our half-court offense was good, our defense rather, but the transition was not. So maybe they're starting to cheat a little bit, and they got burned by 2 baskets. Sharkey will push it off the backboard. But you can get caught. They like, Scott Padgett liked the half-court defense. He didn't like the transition.
Yeah, against a team like Belmont that scores so well, you got to play it all. You got to stop them in transition, and you got to keep stopping them on the half court.
Yuzinski right off the end of the backboard.
Got too low on that one. Samford needs to find a way to get Brandon Austin going here a little bit. He didn't score, had some foul trouble in the first half, averaging 11 a game though.
Myron Gordon will use the bank. Belmont by 2. 17:50 remaining. Off the rim again. Tough night for Windler shooting-wise.
Oh, pass just a little long. Sharkey trying to get it down the floor ahead of the defense. Quick hands there by Allen.
Kept alive by Belmont. Here's Windler's 3, and the lefty puts it home. So 12 now for Dylan Windler, 6'8" senior.
Had 9 in the first half, but not efficient shooting it like he usually is, so you definitely don't want to let him start feeling it out there. Give a double ball screen for Sharkey, give him the option of going left or right.
Gordon. And he will head to the free throw line. Foul is on Musinski. Pair of free throws coming up for Myron Gordon.
Gordon's had a great game attacking the rim today so far.
That's his 10th point. He is an 87% free throw shooter.
When you shoot it that well from the line, you need to attack the rim.
An 11-point game for Myron Gordon. Belmont by 3. 3 minutes gone by. Second half. I'm looking now at a man-to-man, Mr. Kaiser.
Yep. Man-to-man, and Brandon Austin's having no help side, staying on Windler out there. And that'll be his third. Yeah. Windler was about 30 feet from the goal, and Austin was still right in his pocket instead of helping down like he usually would, being the level of the ball.
Head coach Rick Bird. Belmont by 3 and in possession for Grayson Murphy. A wing 3 didn't fall. 2-on-2. Austin from the left side. Allen rather.
Allen ran the court well again, and when the big man runs the court, you reward him. Great use of the left hand, too, going underneath the rim.
Belmont by 1. Murphy got inside. Here's his second chance. So Murphy whiffed on the first attempt and then comes back and gives Belmont a 3-point lead. 16 minutes exactly remaining in the second half.
Yeah, Murphy gets that bucket, but Musinski's the one that kept that ball alive and got it tipped over to him. DeAndre
Thomas turnover, and that'll get us to our first official timeout of the second half. 15:51 remaining, and it's Belmont by 3. We'll be back. By 3, 15:51 remaining here in the second half. Blake Gardner, tell me more about the historic coach for Belmont, Rick Bird.
Well, CB, you and Boyd have been talking about Rick Bird and his accomplishments on the court. You mentioned almost 800 wins, only 5 guys in front of him on that D1 wins list currently. And this team gets it done on and off the court under Rick Bird. This program that he's developed has been so multifaceted and so excellent in so many ways. Off the court for this Belmont club, every single player has graduated as Sharkey can't finish near the Bulldogs rim, and Allen gets fouled on the way up. Off the court, though, for Belmont, every player in this program has graduated. The team GPA hasn't been lower than 3.0 for 16 consecutive seasons. And then on the court, of course, this Belmont offense has been one of the best in the country over the past 6 years. They've been to 7 NCAA tournaments. And get this, even Kentucky head coach John Calipari visited Rick Bird and his staff over the summer to try to get some tips on this dribble drive, spaced out offense that Belmont is so well known for, guys.
Well, Boyd, I can't speak for you, and I know you were pretty good at academics, but a team GPA of 3.0, speaking for myself, I'm out. I'm out. I don't make the team. There's no room for my GPA. In fact, it took me 2 semesters to get a 3.0 combined. Second chance, I use that one all the time.
It just tells you what kind of kids that Coach Bird recruits.
Yeah.
You know, guys that not only can get it done on the court, but they're going to take the classroom serious too. You know, most of these guys aren't going to be playing pro. You know, a few may go overseas. So they know where they need to be studying.
Ian Clark of the New Orleans Pelicans, who has a ring with Golden State, played at Belmont, maybe their most prolific and talented player. Adelsperger misses the second. You a country music fan, by the way?
I'm not much of a country music person.
But you're into, you know, names and pop culture and things like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to run by the
Belmont?
Yeah, the Belmont alums because they're in Nashville.
I may have been heckled by a few of them at a game up there one day.
Brad Paisley. Trisha Yearwood. I'm just getting started. Brian Kelly of Florida Georgia Line, he was a pitcher for Belmont.
Oh, really?
And my favorite and your favorite, 2007 Miss USA Rachel Smith also attended Belmont.
They definitely have a music legacy, a music business program that a lot of people go to.
Robert Allen with a missed dunk. The rim blocked him.
Lost it on the way up a little bit.
Belmont +4, 14-10 remaining.
Samford's changed up their defense again a little bit. They're back in the 2-3 zone. Just trying to give different looks. And now here's going to a challenge for Samford. Every time Guerrero's gone out of the game, it's slipped a little bit on him. Belmont's got more offensive rebounds when he's been out, so he's going to take a couple minutes rest here. See how long Coach Patchen can keep on the bench.
Blake Gardner, our court reporter, told us off air that in tonight's game, Guerrero is a +8. Samford's a +8 when he's on the floor. Shot clock violation will give the ball to Samford. So think about that. Samford is down by 4, Belmont is up by 4, but yet when Guerrero is on the floor, Samford's a +8. That shows you he has been a factor.
Well, and one of the ways is really on the boards. Just then, Belmont just got another couple offensive rebounds. Now, they didn't get it up and hit the rim, so the shot clock violation, but Samford has to find a way to get them off the boards with Guerrero on the bench.
Samford down by 4, 13:51 remaining. You were also talking about Brandon Austin. This is 11.5 points per game, the team's #1 3-ball, and he is shut out so far.
Yeah, he's averaging hitting about 2.5 3-3s a game and hadn't had any yet. I think he's only gotten one up because he spent a lot of time on the bench with the fouls. Belmont just subbed and went a little smaller for the first time today. They're playing without a true center now, which kind of matches up with what Samford has with Guerrero out.
Yeah, neither Uzinski or Adelsperger are in right now.
Well, that didn't last long.
That lasted, yeah, as long as it took me to pronounce Adelsperger.
I think Coach Bird just looked on the court and was like, oh, wait, we don't have a center.
That's right. There's Logan Dye. Sharkey's quickness to the rim.
Great curl action getting to the rim, just couldn't finish.
And then quickly, Belmont able to get into their offense. 3-ball from the wing, put it home. Hopkins on fire.
Hopkins hurt Samford in the first half with a couple threes late in the half. Ended up with 11 for the first.
He's got 4 3-pointers made. Sharkey, soft touch from inside.
Samford's extending the defense, 2-2-1. Again, another little different look.
Under 13 remaining. Hopkins that time launched it. Nolan swatted from behind. Here comes Belmont looking to run. Oh, the alley-oop without the dunk. Dylan Windler on the finish. Nice pass.
Great pass from half court. Good control. The lefty on the left side. Belmont's playing a little harder defense in there the last 2 or 3 minutes, too, inside.
Belmont wanted the N1, but Windler missed the shot. Belmont right now seizing the momentum and the pacing of the game.
And again, it's happened every time Guerrero's been out of the game for a little bit.
DeAndre Thomas picks up his second foul.
I think the same way Samford spent halftime talking about trying to slow the pace down a little bit, guard better in transition. I think Belmont was talking about, we're going to push the pace even more. Attack, attack, attack.
Preseason All-Conference performer Kevin McClain. One more free throw coming. Here comes, by the way, Guerrero for Dye.
Yeah, McClain and Windler are the only 2 seniors on this Belmont team. They are playing a lot of freshmen this year, too.
8-point lead for Belmont. I believe, Boyd, that matches their longest lead. 12:22 remaining in the second half. Sharkey will pick the ball up.
Little weave action trying to get Belmont moving.
No foul, turnover for Belmont. Here come the Bruins. Stop and pop, no, they'll slow it down briefly. And then the backdoor cut and a dunk by Windler. And he's at his, almost at his average now, 16 in the game, 17, he's had to work hard for it. You can sense Belmont flexing their biceps. They're up by 10, and a timeout is called. 11:55 remaining here in the second half. We'll be back with more in just a moment. .55 remaining second half. Belmont out in front of Samford, 63-53. Belmont, you see, undefeated at 5-0. Samford off to their best start in 21 years, but they do trail at home.
Belmont's got it at exactly the pace they want right now. You know, Winslow had 9 in the first half, but didn't shoot real efficient. I think he's probably only missed 1 shot in the second half so far, so he's doing better already there. Samford's got to find a way to control this pace a little bit, but also to score. They've gone the last few minutes having a hard time finishing inside.
Scott Padgett going with Stefan Lockett trying to get some outside shooting. Sharkey is fouled on the floor. That'll take us to a break. The foul will be on Michael Benkert, his second. 10-point lead for Belmont with 11:40 remaining. We'll be back with the second half activities in just a moment. 11:40 remaining in the second half. Belmont with a 63-53 lead. Belmont plays in the OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference.
Belmont had 17 assists in the first half. They already have 7 in the first 8 minutes of the second half. So they've been moving the ball and sharing it well. They're top 10 assists per game right now. So it really shows how they drive and look to dish to the open man.
Lockett with a turnaround. Guerrero has the touch.
Soft little baby hook with the left hand there.
Here comes Belmont, and getting his hands in there was Austin. Otherwise, that's an easy 2 for Adelsperger.
That'll be Austin's 4th foul, though.
Yeah, that'll send him to the bench. Adelsperger is 6'11", junior from Peru, Indiana. Adelsperger, in the win against Kennesaw State, set his career high. He had 13 points in just 15 minutes, a Boyd Kaiser type performance.
Is that as efficient as you can get it, just about?
Yeah, I mean,
point per minute?
Point per minute.
I'm guessing that means he got set up pretty well.
I was about to say, a few of them had to be dunks. Belmont out in front, and they get the rebound. 63-55, the Belmont Bruins out of Nashville. 3-ball from the wing, that's swish. Hopkins
on fire tonight from the 3-point line. Samford can't forget about him out there. You know, you got to concentrate on so many of the other guys that average so many points, but any given night, guys that can shoot the 3.
Guerrero with the easy 2. Nick Hopkins, Boyd, coming into this game, 5 games played, 33 points. He's got more than half of that total. He's got 17 already in this game. This is his breakout game.
And
6-foot sophomore.
5 for 5 from the 3-point line, I think.
Look at that 3, Windler. Got the window, a deep 3 for Dylan Windler. He's now up to 19, so he's actually ahead of his season average. It took him a while. It took him some shots, but Windler now warming up here in the second half.
Yeah, he's feeling it in the second half. Yeah, Belmont, I think, feels this about to break open. They can't find some ways to score here. They've had a much harder time in the second half finding open shots.
10 minutes and 1 second remaining. We're in the second half, and Belmont has their largest lead. It's 12.
Great dish. Great dish. Guerrero's hands have to be ready for that.
Windler and the Samford defender, Thomas, smacked into the stanchion really rather hard. Here it is.
Yeah, a lot of arm. And that was 3 seconds, sideline to sideline, off that bobble.
Southpaw in his final season of college basketball. He's from Indianapolis. And by the way, you don't want to challenge him on the golf course easy as well, Boyd. I should say either. That was the word I was looking for. The guy shoots in the 70s. In the 70s. So he can take you to the rack, and then he can beat you on the links.
How's he got time to go play golf? That takes a long time.
I haven't figured that out. But when he's done with golf, he goes right to the gym. And once again, my famous line, I also shoot in the 70s, and then I got to play another 9.
That's me.
Sharkey wants 3. Samford keeps it alive. Nolan with a long 2.
Finally got that lid off the rim. But again, as we talked about, you get 3 or 4 shots on a possession, hopefully something good's going to happen for you.
Hopkins, rare miss.
That's probably one that Coach Bird is not wanting them to take. You know, the ball hadn't moved around yet. Shot that one quick in the shot clock. And again, when you do that, there's a miss, there's a quick outlet. Samford gets a chance for a fast break.
Ruben Guerrero has come to this arena to play ball tonight. 17 for Guerrero. That's above his season average. Nine-point lead for Belmont. 8:50 remaining.
He's also been a factor on the defensive end with 4 block shots, changing shots that he doesn't get a piece of.
18 in the game for the native of Marbella, Spain.
Windler's going to run a little point guard now since he's a golfer.
"6'8", left-handed hitting golfer. That's one thing you don't see a lot of. Might be the tallest golfer in the history of college golf, and he also, you know, being a rarity, being a lefty. Samford down by 8.
He tried to split the trap there off the screen, lost the ball, and ended up picking up the foul too, going after it.
Robert Allen, 7 points in the game. He has struggled this year at the free throw line, just 4 out of 8. $8:25 to go, second half. Belmont trying to pick up a road win. Nolan for Samford. Sharkey. Now the 3 from Nolan.
Big 3. It looked like for a few minutes there, Belmont was about to pull away. Samford's done a good job, gotten a couple stops. Finally started hitting some shots. They had a dry spell there in the second half, in the middle of the second half.
Belmont by 5. 7:45 remaining. Second half. 3 ball for the Bruins. foul, I believe, on Windler. Did he go over someone's back, or did it go the other way around?
Guessing by the look on Nolan's face.
Right,
they
right.
got him.
It was, yeah, exactly.
Because he's not very happy with it.
Media timeout with 7:37 remaining. Belmont 70, Samford 65.
Just 26%.
Belmont 5-5, 7:37 remaining. Blake Gardner has more news about Belmont and their three-point shooting.
Thanks, guys. We talked a little bit about Rick Bird and his offense, this pace and space, a lot of dribble drive and kick to open shooters. Last year, Belmont was second in the country in percentage of points that they got from behind the three-point arc. 54% of Belmont's offense last year came from three-point makes. It's a little bit more subdued tonight, but still over 40% of Belmont's offense has come from their 10 made threes this evening. So Belmont getting it done, especially in the second half, 4 of 10 behind the arc. So far, Samford's defense has strung together some stops over the last 3 minutes or so. And listening into this Samford huddle during this media timeout, that's been Coach Padgett's emphasis. How can Samford not only string together stops, but finish possessions on the defensive glass, guys?
7:15 remaining.
Yeah, Hollander did exactly what he should. He got the 7-footer out, so tried to drive him to the goal when he's got him away from the goal.
Down low and forget it. Slam dunk home.
And then Guerrero does exactly what he should do as a 7-footer. You take the smaller guy inside and you dunk.
Guerrero with 20. The Samford career high is 26. Good work inside. Caleb Hollander has 12 points. Hollander is a tough matchup. He's 6'8".
And again, it's all their starting guys. They all average double figures, so they all can score any given night.
It's Robert Allen with a pair of misses. Belmont by 7 and in possession. 6:15 remaining.
Samford had to do a little run there to get back in the game, and the question is, can they do it one more time?
It appears Samford has gone into a zone and come up with a missed shot again from Windler. Belmont out in front, 74-67. Trying to go into Guerrero. One-on-one matchup.
But they got Windler over the back that time. Got to get back on defense. Got to get back. He missed the layup, but Samford's got to get back fast.
Yep, Windler with his third. 5:45 remaining in the second half, and the Belmont Bruins lead the Samford Bulldogs 74-67. Let's take a look at that Ruben Guerrero dunk, points 19 and 20. You seal off like that, Boyd, and
well, you seal off when you go for the steal and you miss it, you're in trouble. You know, Hollander tried to play the high side, went for the steal. As soon as it was the angle, the pass, he got him. Quick turn and dunk. You stay behind him, you try to make him shoot a little hook shot.
Guerrero's an interesting story. Played high school basketball in Kansas, born and raised in Spain. Played at a private Christian school in Wichita. Played his first 3 years at South Florida. Sat out as a redshirt transfer last year and finishing his senior season. One of the reasons he committed to Samford, and probably the biggest reason, he said because of the strength of their business school. Ruben Guerrero, nicknamed here on campus El Gigante.
He's been that tonight for Samford.
Kavion Nolan earns another free throw attempt.
Guerrero's got 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 block shots so far today.
5:45 remaining. Nolan with 12.
4-point game at half, still a 5-point game. Right back in it for this last 5 minutes. It's going to be a great end.
Shot clock at 15 for Belmont. Patient this trip. Look at that ball movement. They get off a 3 at 10 seconds.
They moved Samford's zone side to side. I thought that one got tipped out on Belmont that time.
Can you check that one?
We can, but the refs can't.
Okay, they are talking about it, which probably leads to a
There you
whistle.
go.
Yep, there you go. As we say, just get it right.
They can go to the monitor, I believe, the last couple minutes of the game. Good work of them, though, getting together as refs and talking out there and getting it correct.
Grayson Murphy back in for Belmont. Samford is down by 5, 5:20 remaining.
Every possession counts, so this is a big one.
Into Guerrero. That's one of his rare misses inside, but he is able to run down the rebound. And that'll be Benkert. Stripped. Hustling back on defense to prevent the easy bucket was Robert Allen.
Hey, great hustle on both teams. Murphy dove on the floor, hit his man running out. You know, Benkert goes to the goal, but Allen catches up and doesn't let him get the easy two. He's going to make him earn at the line. Nothing wrong with the foul. Got his hand on the ball.
Michael Benkert, 6 out of 8 this year at the line. Now 7 out of 9. Six-point lead, 2 possessions for Belmont.
Cooley knocked those down, shooting into the student section. Students are doing good today. They're working it.
A little over 5 minutes remaining in the second half. Allen the lob. Guerrero can't finish. Second straight miss. Belmont with the 7-point lead on the road, under 5 now.
Samford's back into man-to-man. Hollander again. He tried to take Guerrero out. Got caught on the baseline that time, though.
Blake Gardner will talk with the winning head coach at the conclusion of tonight's game.
You know how much every possession matters when you're rolling the ball to half court already with 5 minutes left in the game. That's usually a last-minute thing when you need more time.
Sharkey's done that for the last about 2+ minutes.
He has.
Allen tries to get the left in. And the freshman Robert Allen not having a good shooting night.
Brandon Austin's back in the game. That arm's going to be a little cold all the time he spent on the bench with foul trouble. Hopefully he's going to see if he can loosen it up.
He has not scored tonight, the former Alabama Crimson Tide basketball player.
Samford's back in the zone again, giving him a different look. I think Belmont's okay moving the ball around, taking a little bit of shot clock.
A little over 4 minutes remaining. Here's a 3 ball, in and out. And this time Guerrero prevents a game of volleyball. Sharkey. Samford's had 3 real good looks the last 3 times down, and they have come up completely empty.
Yeah, Sharkey tried to attack the rim before the big man had a chance to get down there and get set.
3:47 remaining. Second half, Belmont 76, Samford 69, and well, we'll be back. That's right. (76-69), Belmont out in front. 3:47 remaining. Grayson Murphy, free throw line. He scored only 2 points. It comes up short on the 1-and-1. 3:45 remaining. Belmont by 7. Myron Gordon, the mid-range jumper.
Nice 15-footer.
Belmont's lead down to 5, 76-71. 3 ball from the base. Wow, is that a dagger?
Hopkins again.
20 for Hopkins. He has 6 threes off the bench. 8-point lead for Belmont under the 3-minute mark and a whistle.
Yeah, Samford had gone zone, trying to change it up, but Belmont's doing a great job finding those open shooters in the corner.
Murphy will pick up the foul. That's his second.
I think Coach Bird knows who's been stroking for him today, too. Having him in here now the last 3 minutes of the game.
Nick Hopkins with 20 points. He came in 5 games with 33.
He was averaging 6.5 a game.
Myron Gordon with a free throw. It happens so often in the game of basketball. You focus, you concentrate, you try to take somebody out of the game. Somebody else steps up.
Well, Belmont has a team of shooters. You know, one gets hot, like Hopkins has today, and it causes a problem.
Belmont by 7, 2:45 remaining. Will Samford start to foul? They got to do something about Hopkins.
Yeah, Belmont's definitely okay with using the shot clock at this time of the game.
Shot clock at 3, Boyd. And there's that half-court defense.
Good defense.
Myron Gordon, enough
Acrobatic.
to get it in.
So one thing you can't do if you're Belmont, you don't want to slow it down so much you're not even playing your game anymore. You know, you got the lead, but you got to keep playing. They've been trying to use the shot clock, moving around against the zone.
Myron Gordon had just enough athleticism to finish. Look at this. Whoop.
Scoop.
Gordon with a 16-point game. Belmont out in front by 5. Leading scorer in the game off the bench, sophomore Nick Hopkins. 20 points. 2 years ago, he was Mr. Basketball in Tennessee. That's quite an honor and a great, obviously, recruit for Rick Bird and Belmont. Scott Padgett and his Bulldogs almost toe-to-toe with one of the top mid-majors for a long time. Samford has Guerrero on the bench, but is actually at the scorer's table right now. So Scott Padgett is playing offense-defense. When he can get the ball, he's going to get Guerrero in. Now he takes him, puts him back on the bench. Well, Belmont's got the ball. They got 22 seconds to shoot.
Sabres got to keep guarding. No easy buckets.
Stolen by Samford. Sharkey to Myron Gordon. Gordon with 2.
Gordon's had a great game all day of attacking the rim and finishing.
3-point game at the Hanna Center. Belmont 79, Samford 76. 1:42 remaining.
If I'm Belmont.
Oh, that was a change. Brett Smith originally said Samford, then went back.
They can review now.
Now they can review.
Make sure they got it right.
It actually, Smith was the last guy to touch it right there off of the Windler and then to the official. That's going to wind up Samford ball.
I mean, I think Belmont had the right idea. They're trying to go to their best player at this time of the game. It's a 3-point, 1-possession game, and you have Brandon Austin-Gardner, who's got 4 fouls today. So is Brandon going to be a little cautious as he's guarding him?
It certainly looked like that Windler was the last player to touch it and then dribbled it off the leg of Brett Smith.
We can't call it out on Mr. Ref, so
No.
I think it's got to be out on Windler.
Murphy,
As he takes the handoff, he just bobbled it out.
boom, to the knee. Watch the double call. You got it? No,
Yeah.
you got it.
He should have stuck with his gut feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, the only thing is it's got to be definitive
Sure.
in the eyes of the ref.
Well, boy, that looked pretty definitive. Slow-mo and replay. This would be quite an upset if Belmont gets the ball. There have been a lot of 50-50s that we've seen and we've called, but
Yeah.
this does not look like a 50-50.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a bobble and off the leg. They're taking a close look, though. I didn't know if the review would take this long.
1:36 remaining. Here it is again, Boyd.
Again, Brandon Austin had his left hand in there, maybe caused the bobble, but it looks like it goes bobble off Windler's leg, out of bounds. And it's a huge call, obviously. It's a one-possession game, minute and a half left.
Our trio of officials, Tim Gaddis, Todd Austin, and Brett Smith. They are getting quite a look. And again, it's such a crucial call. 3-point game, 1:36 remaining. They just want to make sure. I can't see this going.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't go to Belmont.
Yeah,
And Belmont knew it. Look at their facial expression.
yeah, he didn't argue it. He
No.
knew who he ended off of.
Now, Belmont knew where it was going.
And that's huge. A one-possession game, and Samford gets a stop.
Well, I'll ask the broadcaster's rhetorical question. Do you need the three right now?
Oh, no, if I'm Samford, I'm attacking the rim. You know, Gordon's done it. I'm kind of surprised Guerrero didn't get back in to attack the rim.
This would tie it. In and out. Rebound and a big one for
Yeah.
Windler.
I'm a little surprised that a three off somebody that hadn't gotten a lot of shots up today because of foul trouble. One bounce, not really off a pass and flow.
He did get a great look. Belmont so unselfish.
If I'm Belmont here, I'm looking Windler.
9 to shoot. Windler off your screen right now. 3 from the wing, that has no chance. Kept alive, and a big one by Belmont.
Extra possession. Again, it's still a one-possession game. Samford doesn't have to foul, just guard. But that hurts. You had to stop if you'd gotten the rebound.
44 seconds and counting. 13 to shoot. That's Windler. Sharkey almost got his hand on it. Bounce past Windler. 7 to shoot.
Good defensive position.
And over to Samford with 28-5. I'll ask the same question. Now, do you take the three for the tie?
With 28 seconds, 3 points, if I'm Samford the way we've shot tonight, I'm still attacking the rim. You attack the rim the first 10, 12 seconds of the possession, there's plenty of time to foul, try to get a rebound. It's 1-1 for Belmont on the foul.
Let me bring my stat back. Belmont, their starting five, is not a very good free throw shooting squad. They've got a 57%, a 64%. Hollander came in, he's a starter, 2 for 5 at the line. So your theory works. If their starters are on the floor, you take a good 2, you miss, you make, whatever, you still can foul and get.
The other good thing that happens when you drive is you may get a great 3 too. The best 3 is an inside-out pass where you're squared up and you can shoot. So it's not totally going away from the 3, but it's attacking the rim to make something happen.
28.5 seconds remaining. Belmont 79, Samford 76 at the Hanna Center. We are in Homewood, Alabama.
Now the one thing you don't want to do is take a lot of time. You know, you're still down 3, you want more than one shot at this if you can. which means if you take a 2, you want extra time to foul and get back down the court for a good 3 if you need it. And if you miss, what you talk about in that huddle is you got to foul fast.
Ruben Guerrero is not on the court. Scott Padgett going with his outside shooters. Sharkey with the penetration, the kick out. Tie for the 3, no good. Rebound Murphy up to Windler. Windler will dunk it home.
Sharkey drove like we talked. He kicked it to an open man in the corner.
For 3, Sharkey keeps the game alive.
Again, you got to foul fast. Find the right guy to foul. That's not the one you want to get it to, Swindler. If you're Samford, you don't want to let him get it.
Sharkey's 3 found the bottom of the net. He has 18 points in the game. Here it is. He was well behind the arc. It's amazing. Sharkey last year hit only 5 threes.
That's a gutsy 3 right there.
Yeah,
you know, that position in the game. You know, they came out of the timeout, drove baseline quickly, what we talked about. If Sharkey had the layup, he would have taken it. There was rotation. He kicked it to the corner for a good shot for Nolan. The miss, the worst thing that happened on the miss was long rebound, pushed out quick before Samford could foul, so they got an easy 2. The good thing for Samford, it was a quick score. They got the ball back and had a chance to get another 3 up. So there's still plenty of time left in this game to get a foul.
11-8 is a lot of time.
You can get a foul, you can get back down the court and hit another 3 here.
Belmont will have to go the length of the court as well.
Yes, Belmont's going to try to get it to the best. They're better free throw shooters at this point because they know Samford's going to foul fast.
Murphy will inbound it. And they pass underneath, which is allowed. And then there's the foul with 10.1. So Samford got that foul quickly. Good move by Belmont. They kept the ball underneath and out of bounds.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that rule of the game. You know, off a made shot, you can run the baseline or you can pass the baseline.
Well, this is Nick Hopkins.
He's had a great shooting game from the three-point line.
1-and-1 goes. And now a crucial free throw to make it a 2-point game, or 2-possession game, rather. If Hopkins misses, Samford would have a chance to send this into overtime.
You got to box out on this.
There's the miss. Here come the Bulldogs with 8. They need the 3 for the tie. It'll come from Nolan. Oh. With 2, Nolan ties the game. One more shot for Belmont. Will they get it off? We're going overtime at the Pete Hanna Center.
Wow, right after a miss with about 15, 20 seconds left, he comes right back and hits the game-tying shot. Again, Nolan's been over 50% for the year on the three-point line. But great, Brandon Austin gave it up. They got it to him right there. He gave it up to the open man. Here it comes. Both men for Belmont flew at Austin, and he found Nolan in the corner.
Overtime at the Hanna Center. So we'll reset the clock to 5 minutes. But before we play any further, we'll take a timeout. Back with OT in just a moment. Back at the Hanna Center before we start overtime, Blake Gardner listened in on the Belmont huddle. What did you get, Blake?
Thanks, CB. Yeah, obviously a very disappointed Belmont Bruins huddle, but Coach Rick Bird and the rest of his staff got around their huddle, made it nice and tight, and said, guys, listen, we've got to hang on here. Everyone breathe. We got to flush that out of our system. A new 5 minutes to focus on, as he wants his team to forget about that Samford comeback that just happened and focus in on this next possession, guys.
Well, that possession leads to a Myron Gordon basket. He has 20.
You know, we talked early in the first half that Belmont wanted the game probably in the mid-80s, Samford in the mid-70s, and we got 82, so Samford had to scratch back to get it to overtime.
3-ball, Belmont. As they have done most of this game, second chance for Belmont. Hopkins can't hit. Guerrero will pick up the foul. 3 shots for Belmont.
You know, Hopkins is getting the start in overtime after such a great game, such a great performance that he's had today.
Lindler, 22 points. Make it 23. Samford leads by 1. We're in the first overtime. 4 minutes, 19 seconds remaining. Guerrero exits. Robert Allen comes in. This is for the tie. Remember that free throw shooting. They're not very good at the line, although he's one of their better ones. 1 point lead for Samford. Trouble for Brendan Austin. He had the lane and lost control. Murphy shot deflected, then the second chance put back in by Hollander.
So many second chance points in this game.
3:50 and counting. First overtime. Belmont up by 1. Gordon, Nolan, who sent the game into overtime. Shooter's got to still shoot, though, doesn't he, Boyd?
They do, but it just had Gordon on the backdoor cut, and we missed it.
Steal, and then popped out of bounds off of Samford. So here is Belmont now in possession and a 1 point lead.
It's like a straight man-to-man defense from Samford right now.
Murphy with the kick out.
Oh, I think
No
he got away with a
foul.
little travel there.
What a battle. Sharkey draws the foul. What a battle.
I think he may have drawn about 3 fouls on that one.
Only needed 1.
Looked like Hunter was on his back there for a little while.
Arched his back to emphasize, I got hurt, I got fouled. 3:06 remaining. And Sharkey gets 2 shots.
That's Hollander's 4th foul. He's had a solid game with 12 points, 7 rebounds.
Sharkey ties the game at 85 with 3:06 remaining. First overtime. This is for the Samford lead. Belmont's Grayson Murphy. The dribble across the midcourt line. Belmont loves to go in and out. This time they'll stay out and look at the 3-ball. Windler.
They missed Windler on the switch there. Austin switched man on the screen with Sharkey, and they both kind of went with the same man with the ball and left Windler open there.
Windler ties it up. Allen got rejected by Windler. And another miss, but a putback again by Belmont. I think that was Windler on it. And he's now up to 28 points. More importantly, a 4-point Belmont lead in the overtime. 2:15 remaining.
He's got to be close to a double-double, too, with rebounds.
Foul will be called on Kevin McLean.
It's a double bonus for Sharkey at this point.
Sharkey will be at the free throw line where he just hit a pair. Dylan Windler now up to 28 points. He could block, he could pass, he could shoot. He comes as advertised. Sharkey with 20 points so far.
Yeah, Sharkey's had a really solid game. 5 assists also, 3 steals. Right about his average on steals.
Native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. .212 remaining. The score, as is, Belmont by 4. .90-87. So there's that upper 80s, 90s now, which favors Belmont just a little bit more than Samford. We'll hit 2 minutes. Nice pass,
Great
wide
pass.
open.
Allen tried to slide over for a steal, totally under control on that. Little dish, easy layup.
5-point lead. Now Allen with a little scoop shot. Wasn't pretty, but the result went in. Belmont by 3, 1:35 remaining. Shot clock at 12. McLean into the paint.
Got to remember the second shot too.
McLean.
Solid move by one of the 2 seniors.
5-point Belmont lead, 1:10 remaining. OT number 1. Nolan runs the floor, the kick out. Myron Gordon tried to draw the foul and did. He was looking for the 3-point play, but didn't hit the basket.
Yeah, I think Murphy got set up, but it was Gordon was already up in the air. Little slide underneath him.
Close. Too close for me. I'll let the officials officiate. And we'll just call the action as Myron Gordon will have a pair of free throws with less than a minute remaining. Belmont 94, Samford 89. .21 for Myron Gordon. That's a Samford high for him.
Back to a 1-possession game, under a minute.
57.9 to be exact.
How long can we keep doing this?
You know, until one team has at least one more point than the other guy. That's the way I look at it.
It's been a fun game up and down the court.
Oh, it's been great. We talked about not needing to hype this game up probably about 2.5 hours ago, and the game has delivered.
You know, and it's still early in the season, so it's kind of an early test for both teams. Belmont on the road, Samford just against what we talked about, the mid-major powerhouse. I think what we've learned are both teams are pretty good, pretty solid.
Let's take a look at Kavion Nolan's game-tying 3 with 2 seconds remaining in regulation. That tied the game. There was actually 2 seconds to go. Belmont got off a shot, but that shot tied this thing at 82. Belmont scored 12 points in this first overtime. Yeah, both teams are good. I think that's the message.
Yeah, Samford's been playing from behind most of the game, but they've kept scrapping and fighting. There was a time early in the second half, it looked like Belmont may pull away, and they scrapped and fought back. Got it in overtime and still a 1-possession game.
This was a test that the Samford Bulldogs wanted. From the head coach, Scott Padgett, down to the last player on the team, whoever that might be. They were 7-1 prior to tonight. They wanted to see how good are we. Bringing in one of the best mid-majors for the last 20 years.
And a test for Belmont too. You know, they've gotten to clear their bench a lot in their first 5 games. It hadn't been a big challenge yet. So to go on the road and do this will really help them down the line, especially for the redshirt freshmen that haven't had a lot of game action yet.
Rick Byrd has 783 wins, 784. Won't be easy. 57 seconds and counting. Samford had pressure. Sharkey looked over at his head coach to see what to do. Now just one-on-one with Murphy.
One possession game, you got to play solid defense, box out and rebound. Belmont, you still want to run your offense and go get a good shot.
There's a little bit of a lane, and that's all Murphy needed.
He hasn't scored much tonight, but that's a big one.
Belmont by 5, 30 seconds remaining. Can Nolan do it again? He passes up the 3. Gordon inside to Allen. Allen goes with his opposite hand.
Now you got the foul fast.
24 seconds. Murphy able to get loose. A 2-on-2. Oh, the dunk, and the emphatic dunk by Windler, who has 30 points.
Yeah, that's too easy. Samford needed to get the foul there. Make him earn it at the free throw line.
Sharkey with a long 3 comes out. That might be enough. Windler and his Belmont Bruins might have sealed it there. 5-point lead with ball, 10.3.
Yeah, Windler got his second dunk off a time when you want to get a foul in this game. You got one earlier in the end of the second half, and
so Windler with 31. His career high is 36. Second of 2 by the southpaw. 10-point, and now less than 10 remaining. Sharkey brings it up. Kick out, Kavion Nolan. That won't go. 1.2 remaining, and Belmont is going to stay undefeated. Belmont out in front, 99-93. What a game we have had a chance to broadcast tonight.
And Belmont earned this win. I mean, it wasn't easy for him. Samford gave him a hard challenge. You know, Windler's the real deal. Scoring, rebounding, leading this team that's got a bunch of young players.
Byron Gordon cannot hit, and that will do it as Belmont comes down from Nashville. A very hard-fought win in a tremendous battle. Belmont 99, Samford 93. So the score did get to the 90s, where Belmont hangs around the 90s. They're averaging 94, and it will actually go up, although they did need overtime. We'll wait for Blake Gardner, and he'll have a moment with Rick Byrd in just a moment as Byrd picks up his 784th career win. 6-0 now for Belmont. Samford will drop to 7-2. You know, one thing, as you and I can see, we're waiting again, Blake and Rick, not a long face on Samford. They understand they put in one heck of an effort. Blake Gardner now with the winning head coach, Rick Byrd. Blake?
Thanks, guys. Down here with Belmont head coach Rick Byrd. Coach, your team led by 8 with 3 minutes to go. Samford stormed back to force overtime. What was your message to your team to settle them down and get them ready for the extra session?
You know, I told them that it's that the best team wins. And I don't know if we were the best team, but I was trying to fool my guys into thinking we were the longer the game goes. And that we had really won the 40 minutes, and they made 2 great threes to tie it. And let's get back out there and get it done. And we had a bunch of guys make a lot of individual plays in that last overtime period. I don't think I orchestrated one single good thing.
Your team, you mentioned the team. Of course, Windler was excellent tonight, but your team was plus 12 off the bench. Nick Hopkins had a big night. What can you say about your bench contributions?
Well, I'm happy for Nick because he's not gotten as much playing time as I would like, he would like, and he sure earned some tonight. And yeah, we had to go small. We had to play some people. Mike Binkert played an awful lot of minutes, did a great job on Sharkey, I thought, if you can do a great job on him. So hopefully we'll learn from a lot of mistakes in this game. We got to be in Green Bay, Wisconsin tomorrow afternoon.
Your team remains undefeated. Congrats on the road win, Coach.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Guys.
Hey, pack a heavy jacket, Coach. 99-93, Belmont in overtime over the Samford Bulldogs. For Blake, Boyd, John McAfoose, and the rest of our crew. This is Kurt Bloom. Enjoy this one again. Just go to our ESPN family of networks.